Okay, so these are the things that you
Also make sure. Hey guys, it's your girl Nyasha, also known as WeNyasha the Boss Babe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you're not new, please make sure you're part of the family. Hey, click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of my videos. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss them. And on today's video, we have a guest. Not sure if I should call him a guest, but well, Boss Daddy D is in the building. Yeah, so you've been hearing his voice from behind the camera if you've been following my videos, but today he is with me here, and yeah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're finally spoken. Yeah, so please make sure you follow his Instagram account as well at Boss Daddy D. Give him a follow, and yeah, like his pictures, like his posts as well, and also like his business page at Builders Republic. Yeah, make sure you do. Hey. So in today's video, guys, we're gonna be celebrating our anniversary. We just turned a year old today as a married young couple. Oh my god! Wow! And I'm sure you can see the canvas behind us that was done by Inspired Planners. They also officially launched their company today, so it was really a nice event. Please make sure you follow them, Inspired Planners, on Instagram and on Facebook, and also make sure that if you have any events plannings that you need to do, from your picnics, your corporate events, your weddings, your Lobolas, just get in touch with Inspired Planners. Very beautiful work that they did for our Lobola, and very beautiful work that they're doing. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into today's video.
So for today's video, we're going to be telling you 10 things you need to know before Lobola. I'm a Lobola,
Yes.
bride price.
Right, so let's get right into the first point. So first point is know what works for you. Just because someone did something doesn't mean it works for you as well. Don't succumb to social media pressure. There's a lot of things going on social media. People are doing
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, people are doing $5,000 budgets for the decorations. Yeah, I know if you can afford it, that's fine. But if you can't, yeah, be
Don't
humble.
put pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
You will grow.
Yeah.
And start from where you are.
Yeah, use what you have and do the best with what you can and what is around you.
So the second thing you need to know is that it is a relationship building process, not a purchasing event. So instead of you trying to bring a huge amount of money where you just come and purchase your wife in quotes and then you just take them home, it's a relationship building process where you build a relationship with your in-laws. Try to have a relationship with your in-laws before you actually come into the family, so that there's a bit of leniency that comes with that, not just for the pricing but also for the negotiation process. You know, with someone whom you know, I think there's a sense of leniency that comes when it's time for negotiations and time to do the whole process, because they understand that's a relationship building process more than it is a transactional process. The moment it becomes a transaction, then all kinds of emotions can be raised on the day. But whereas if it's a relationship, and since you're coming into the family, it will work better that way. These days parents are modern. Try to find a way to approach them.
And that brings us to our next point, which is understand your boyfriend or your man. This goes specifically to the ladies. Please make sure you understand your guy, because sometimes the guy will be earning not as much money as you'd want them to come and pay. For example, if he's earning $200 probably in RTGS, that will be like have very little money. Very little money. So how many months does he need to raise $5,000 or $16,000 if you
And
want to.
within that $200, they have to survive.
Groceries.
They have to take care of their parents. They have to pay rent and all that stuff is involved in that. We're talking on a broad spectrum. These are the kind of salaries that are around there, out there. So you need to understand your man.
Very true. So please make sure you understand your guy. It's on you, ladies.
So that brings us to the fourth point, which is make smart financial decisions. I learned this from my dad, who's a CA and an investor. Don't take huge amounts of money for the Lobola payment unless you have access. But basically, if you're someone who's building up their financial capacity, don't take all your money, all your savings to spend on one day. Remember, after all, it's not done in one day. It's a relationship building process, as we spoke earlier. So because the relationship building process, if you have, let's say you saved 4,000, take 2.5, put the 1.5 in investments, and 6 months later you can even come back and pay up the whole sum because you'd have invested the money. But then if you take all the money that you've saved and you take it for Lobola, the next thing, probably you combine your Lobola and your wedding or something like that. When they come home, you have nowhere to start from. You need to have those things in mind. Okay, so these are the things that you learn from hearing from people who have gone through the process, and so that you don't make the same mistake that certain people did.
That brings us to the next point, which is talk to your parents before the Lobola day. Talk to your parents. Be the go between your parents and your boyfriend, because normally parents have very high expectations, and it's your duty as the lady to try and calm them down. I remember Danny is an architect, by the way, so generally there's a belief that architects make a lot of money, and then so my parents had very high expectations at first, but then I had to calm them down and remind them, you know what, things are hard. We were just coming from a very hard COVID period. Remember last year, everyone was panic mode, business was on a standstill, so I had to try and calm them down. You know what, yes, he's an architect, but then he's just like any other person. Things are hard for everyone, so don't expect much from him. After all, he's coming to tie relations. Tie relations.
Help us. Help us. There is God.
Literally.
Literally.
So I had to make sure that I bring them down. My mom would ask me, so how much does he have? I would say, man, things are hard for him, so don't even expect much. And I think it helped him.
So remember, as the lady, you're the helper of the husband, so you have to begin your helping process right now. That's the time you need to start helping, to show that you actually care about his finances. And it's not like you are devaluing yourself or anything. I don't know how that philosophy comes from, that if someone comes with $200 on your Lobola ceremony, is devaluing you. No, but it's a relationship building process where you are building into something that's greater. It's an initiation into one family and initiation into the other. So there's no need to put too much pressure on your guy, and then after that, you start off a life without cash and
After all, I think you can never put a value on a human being.
Never.
If you're going to put pressure on him to come with 20K, are you trying to say that you're worth $20,000? Because I'm sure as I'm sitting right now, I have the ability and the capacity to give him ideas that could make him a millionaire or even a billionaire. And same applies to him. He has ideas and things that could make me a billionaire. So if you're going to give me a value of 20,000, I'll take that as an offense. I'll take that as an offense.
Plus, remember, this is the official baby making factory.
Yes. So you can never replace me with any amount.
Definitely.
You can never replace me with any amount. So keep that in mind. It's not about you having a monetary value. It's about having relations with the other family.
Point number 6. As the head of the house, you need to learn to plan carefully. It is built within the DNA of the man to be able to plan. You have to learn to plan always, plan. No matter you say you're a person of faith, don't try this funny shenanigans where people show up at Lobola ceremonies with empty envelopes, believing that somehow the money will magically appear. You need to work. You have to work, and then you plan progressively with the, I know that things happen gradually as you progress towards the Lobola ceremony, and miracles happen. But as miracles happen, we need to have a balance between your faith and the input that you put. There's God's part and there's your part. So you need to plan. The planning part is yours. Commit your plans to the Lord. So there is the planning part. You need to be a very thorough planner. Imagine the event. Think about it step by step. Think of the process, and by doing so, you reduce costs, reduce mishaps, and come up with something that is proper and fitting for both of you.
The next point is be cost effective. Ladies, try by all means, even the gents, try by all means to cut your costs. Lobola or a wedding is a one-day event, but you have a whole marriage waiting for you. Soon after the event, you'll be thinking of rentals, you'll be thinking of food, your groceries, you'll be thinking of other costs that you might have as a couple. So keep that in mind when you're planning your Lobola, that you have to cut down on your costs. Specifically for our case, we had to take most of the foodstuffs from my home. We didn't buy much of the stuff anyway. We had to take things that were already in the home, things that we were going to use any other day, obviously. So things like our mealie meal for sadza, things like potatoes, things like the veggies. We only had to buy a few other veggies for the day, but we took some of the stuff from our home, and that really cut our budget. We didn't have a catering team, like a hired catering team. I had my mom's friends assisting, my sister's friends assisting, so that team became our catering team, and such lovely food that we had.
It was lovely.
Right?
You see, the ladies' side is hosting you. That's something you need to know. This is a bonus point within this point. So the ladies' side will be hosting you. So basically, they're taking care of the whole event, and it's good that they utilize human capital. You have friends that your mom can work with, or your dad's friends that can help you with the tents and all that. If you can use any kind of human capital, take advantage of it.
Sure.
So this is the 8th point. It's something that's not so common nowadays. However, in the olden days, the young boys that had reached maturity had to follow the older guys to the river, to the woods and all that as a way of mentorship, and they would be taught about marriage and all that. But nowadays, with all this pop culture and the hype that's going on, it's not something that's so common. But we have mentors in our spiritual lives. We have a church, we have mentors in business. But in the marital arena, very few people have mentors, and it is key for you to have mentors. My mentor always says that have peers that you relate with at the same level, and have mentors that are above you that you report to, and have mentors above your mentors, your older mentors that you actually report to. For example, we have peers that we do double dates with, that we interact with, and we share everything, not everything per se, but much of the stuff happening in our lives. They share theirs, we interact as couples. Then at a later stage, probably we break out. They talk as ladies, we talk as guys. We have peers that are at the same level with us, 1-2 years in marriage. Then we have our mentors that are like 15 years in marriage. Then we also have our parents who are above 30 years in marriage. They factor in as mentors as well, because remember, your parents are your best mentors. They taught you to walk, they taught you to talk, so there are no better mentors than your parents. Then finally, we have mentors that we report to that are like 50 years older than us. It may not be every month like with the other ones, or every 3 months per se. But with these guys now, probably it's once a year, but they with 50 years in marriage, you have a lot to talk about, a lot to say. And it's not just about going there when you have a problem. It's about going there before there is a problem. You start going there when everything is well, everything is fine, just to talk. Do this before your Lobola as a couple. Whilst you're courting, you're dating, have someone you report to, and also as part of that, we have report groups. Can I say they're very casual? Those ones are very casual. It's a less formal structure. I go with my boys for braai, and during that braai we discuss these issues. How's marriage, financially, how's your intimate life and all that, just discuss and throw ideas out there, and then you share information. And so I think it's very necessary that you have mentorship during your courtship as you approach your Lobola and your marriage life, because after that you're going to need them for the rest of your life.
Yeah, true that, hey. And then the next thing is you have to pray together as a couple. And I'm sure that specifically for my case, I didn't really pray days towards the Lobola ceremony. I really found it hard because I was so stressed out, and I had a hard time dealing with the stress and the planning of it and all that. So I'm sure that the prayers that we had before, as we were courting, as we were dating, the prayers that we did together are the prayers that I'm sure God bent. He carried forward those prayers to the time where I needed them the most, because I didn't have the strength, honestly, to kneel down and pray. It was hard. The most I could do was just say, it's hard for me. So
the good times are the best time to build strength for the bad times. Even the good book says that prepare for the evil day. Every person has an evil day. So when an evil day comes, you need to have strength on that day. So as you pray as a couple, as you begin to court, you need to start preparing yourselves, not just for a single event, but for a whole lifetime. So you're building momentum for future events and for things to come. So it's very necessary to pray together. And as you pray together, that takes us to the last point.
Before you go to the last point, one fact is we used to have prayer days.
Yeah.
Where we used to go, and it used to be like the fourth weekend.
Yes. Normally we would meet every Saturday. Sundays when we're going to church together, but mainly on Saturdays. So if we have a picnic, it was kind of random, but we knew after 3 or 4 days that we needed to have a prayer date. So we'd have probably a picnic, probably an outing in a food outlet, in a restaurant, or then after that, different things. But then eventually on the 4th or 5th date, we would just go for prayer the whole day, and most of the time it was fasting.
No food on your date, ladies. That was hard.
It was a prayer date, and we kept diaries. I would share prayer points with her, she would share with me. But not just the grocery list type of prayer points, just intimacy with God, getting to know God better, and what He has in store for us. Would spend the whole day, in a prayer room, prayer setup, some soft music, just prostrate on the floor, speaking to God, and then normally would after that would break that fast with a light meal. So that we can part our separate ways, but it prepares you for the future. For the future.
It does. And at the end of the day, you have to keep God at the center of your relationship. You don't have to involve God when you see things when you now realize that things are shaky. Have Him as the foundation of your relationship. The day you say yes, and the day you think that you're really into this guy or really into this girl, have God involved.
Yes, definitely. So finally, you need to set goals as a couple. it's a powerhouse. This goes in line with the whole praying together, because when you're praying together, you are not just building a foundation for the future, but you are also casting your eyes into things that you haven't touched yet. So because you're setting goals together, you are pushing for them. It's such a great feeling when you get to achieve stuff together. This is when you get to say, this is a baby that belongs to both of us. I have my personal achievements, she has her personal achievements, but this one is
It's
ours.
yeah.
It brings the bond stronger. And this is not a biological baby, this is probably a material baby. You have experiential goals. You want to visit certain places. You might not be able at that time, but you pray and work towards it. You might have things you want to achieve that are material. You achieve those things together, and when you see the manifestation of those things, I'm telling you, it's so much joy. It's one of the sparks in the relationship when you get to achieve stuff together. So as you prepare for your Lobola day, have goals for that. Don't overestimate your budget or underestimate it. Set goals and try to achieve them. Push yourselves to be better, but don't spend more than you can. Live within your means. Many people end up broke and struggling in their marriages simply because they made wrong decisions when it came to their Lobola or their wedding or their engagement and all that, just to please the viewers who are not even part of your marriage.
Who won't even come to your house.
They're third parties.
Yeah.
Basically, the two of you are the fire in the relationship, and you need to keep it going like that. So I think this sums up.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. Let me know if we should do more videos together. Let me know if you'd want to see more videos with Danai here. Let me know in the comment section below, and please, make sure you follow
Definitely,
me.
they want to see me more.
We'll let them decide.
Comment down below.
Alright, comment down below, and feel free to suggest any videos that you'd want the two of us to do next time. And make sure that you also follow his Instagram page at BossDaddyD and his business page, Builders Republic. And till next time, don't forget to
pray, ace, and slay.
No, pray, ace, and slay always. Bye.